Hello, let's take a moment and write down one thing you're currently not doing that if you did consistently would positively impact your life. Just pause this video, think about it for a moment, write it down, and then press play again. Okay, now that you've done that, now take another moment, write down one thing you're currently not doing that if you did consistently would positively impact your professional or work life. Again, pause this video, think about it for a moment, write it down, then press play again. Okay, did you do it? Did you write down your answers? Because we're going to come back to this in a few moments. But before we talk about Stephen Covey's third habit from his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, let's quickly recap what we've covered in previous videos. The definition of a habit is a settled or regular tendency or practice, especially one that is hard to give up. The definition of effective is successful in producing a desired or intended result. So we're reviewing the 7 hard-to-give-up practices that make you successful in producing what you want. We are answering the questions, what must I do to accomplish what I want today, tomorrow, and for my life? And how do I live a fulfilling life? The first habit is be proactive. You have the ability to choose how you act and react. You have the independent will and are responsible for your choices. The first habit says you're in charge. The second habit is begin with the end in mind. You use your imagination first to form a plan, a type of being proactive. As you make your plan, you account for the consequences of your choices of your plan. Remember, you reap positive consequences if your choices and plans align with correct principles and values, and you reap negative consequences if your choices and plans do not align with correct principles and values. Now for the third habit, put first things first. This habit is the natural next step. You have shifted how you see things and accepted that you can make your own choices. You've discovered or are discovering correct principles and values to base your choices and plans on. Now you put that plan into action. But how? What are first things and how do we decide what to put first? These are great questions and what we're going to talk about today. My name is Jacob Curtis. I'm a CPA and certified Profit First professional. I co-own Utah Valley Quilting and founded Curtis Accounting Solutions, where we help quilt shops piece together financial freedom by implementing Profit First, doing bookkeeping, payroll, and taxes, and providing business coaching. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the subject today, so please leave a comment below and don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. The third habit is put first things first. But what are first things and how do we put them first? In 1954, Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President of the United States and a 5-star general during World War II, quoted an unnamed university president when he said, "I have 2 kinds of problems, the urgent and the important. The urgent are not important and the important are never urgent." Covey used these words to develop the now popular task management tool, the Eisenhower Matrix. The Eisenhower Matrix is a helpful tool for managing your time and tasks. It helps you prioritize by distinguishing between urgent and important matters so that you can work more efficiently. The matrix is made up of 4 quadrants. The first is important and urgent. Second is important but not urgent. Third, not important but urgent. Fourth, not important and not urgent. Although urgent and important may seem interchangeable, understanding the distinction between the two is essential. By categorizing matters as urgent or important, you can prioritize which things require your immediate attention and which things you can delegate to other team members. Urgent matters are usually easy to identify as they require immediate attention. Urgent matters must be completed within a specific timeline to avoid negative consequences. Delaying these can lead to increases in stress and potential burnout, so it's best to address them promptly. Examples of urgent matters may include finishing a project with a last-minute deadline, handling an urgent customer request, fixing a busted pipe in your store or house. Important matters may not be urgent, but they are crucial for achieving your long-term goals. Don't underestimate their importance just because they don't require immediate attention. Planning and allocating your resources is vital to tackle these efficiently. Examples of important matters may include planning a long-term project, professional networking and building a customer base, regular chores and maintenance projects, things like that. By learning to distinguish between urgent and important, you can effectively categorize everything you do into one of the 4 quadrants. We react to urgent matters. On the other hand, important matters that are not urgent require us to be proactive and take the initiative. If you don't practice habit 2, begin with the end in mind, and have a destination in mind, you can be easily diverted and distracted. For you to grow and your quilt shop to grow with you, you need to spend most of your time doing the important but not urgent things. But that can be hard since most people spend 90% of their time doing important and urgent things or putting out fires all day. If you feel stressed, burned out, in crisis mode, always putting out fires, you spend too much time doing these important and urgent things. This is where most business owners live. But if you are short-term focused, in management crisis mode, and see goals and planning as worthless, feel victimized and feel like things are out of your control and feel like your relationships are suffering, you probably spend too much time doing only urgent things. And lastly, if you are not getting anything done and depend only on others for everything, you spend way too much time on unimportant things. If you have a vision and perspective, are building relationships, setting goals and planning, taking time to prepare, exercise, and do preventative maintenance, like going to the dentist before your tooth aches, you have a balanced and fulfilling life. You're spending the right amount of time on the right things. You're putting first things first. Now, what are the two things I asked you to write down when we started? I would bet that your answers are the things that are important but not urgent. When I answered those questions, my answers were exactly that, important but not urgent. So how do you make the switch from putting out fires all day to setting goals and planning? And what if you're the only employee or you only have a few employees? The short answer is time, whether that is giving yourself time to grow or making better use of your time. If you are the only team member or have a few team members, be patient and continue to work hard. As you build a strong foundation and increase sales, you'll have more resources to delegate, allowing you more time to focus on important long-term things. If you have an entire team, the only way to get more time to focus on important things, but not urgent things, is to stop doing some things. You and I only have 24 hours in each day, no more, no less. But how we choose to spend those hours makes the difference between someone who gets the results they want and those who don't. To say yes to important priorities, you must say no to other things, sometimes apparently urgent things. You say yes and no to many things daily. A center of correct principles and a focus on your mission empowers you with the wisdom to make those judgments effectively. Without a principle-based center and a mission, you do not have the necessary foundation to sustain your efforts for long. The intent of putting first things first is to manage your life effectively from a center of sound principles, from a knowledge of your mission with a focus on the important as well as the urgent, and within a framework of maintaining a balance between your production and your capacity to produce. Now, this is an ambitious objective. To help you develop this habit, you need a system, and this system needs to ensure coherence between your goals, mission, vision, and principles. The system also needs to balance all of the roles you juggle, from mom and wife to leader and business owner. The system needs to motivate and encourage you to help you spend more time doing important priorities like prevention rather than crisis management. The key is not to prioritize what's on your schedule, but to schedule your priorities. The system needs to deal with people, not schedules. You need to think in terms of effectiveness with people rather than efficiency of time. The system should be your servant, never your master. It should be tailored to you and your preferences. Lastly, the system needs to be portable and easily accessible so you can review it when you feel discouraged or overwhelmed. This system is your first things first system. This system works best on a weekly basis, accounting for your monthly, quarterly, and annual goals and your mission. A pro tip here, have these written down and where you can see them daily. The first step, and before your week begins, is to list all of the roles you will fulfill this week, from mother to wife, business leader, friend, etc. Include all of the roles from all areas of your life, from home to work, church, and community. The next step is to think of 2 or 3 important results you want to accomplish for each of those roles during the coming week. These are your weekly goals. Ideally, these tie back to your longer-term goals and mission. Step 3. With your goals in mind, review the week ahead of you and schedule time to achieve them. For example, if one of your goals is to write the first draft of your mission statement, you may want to schedule 2 hours on a Sunday or some other day during the week when things are quiet and you have time to think and seek inspiration. As you review the week and what you want to accomplish, you may realize that some things can only be scheduled on certain days or at specific times. And sometimes you may need to cancel or move things to have an effective week and accomplish your goals. Step 4 is to review your day each morning and make adjustments as needed. Be flexible, but always prioritize the important things. And remember, importance is a scale. Some things are more important than others, but also remember not to confuse urgent with important. By planning weekly and prioritizing daily, you give yourself focus. By trying to prioritize without knowing how things relate to your mission and your long-term goals is not effective. You may be prioritizing and accomplishing things you don't even want or need to do at all. By putting first things first and using this system to manage your life, you will be more effective in 5 ways. First, you'll be principle-centered. You'll be empowered to see what is really important to you. Second, you get to organize your life to be in harmony with your deepest values. Third, you are reminded of your mission, principles, and long-term goals, giving you purpose and direction in how you spend each day. Fourth, it helps you balance your life by identifying your roles and the results or goals you want to accomplish each week. And fifth, it gives you greater context through weekly organizing, rising above the daily fires, but keeping you out of the someday clouds. I would love to hear from you as you apply these habits. You can leave a comment below or email me at jacob@curtisaccountingsolutions.com and tell me how it's going. Thank you again for watching, and follow me at Curtis Accounting Solutions on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube. Thanks, and talk to you soon. Bye.